All right, what's up, guys? Rafe Realm here with Fatal Streams for Slam Zone Sports. We are doing a Slam Zone review of Final Battle, and actually, I was actually all into this with Fatal Streams today. Like I was oohing and awing all night long. Well, afternoon hour, but they called it nighttime because they went on first. It actually started. I actually like the pay-per-view idea for what they're doing with Ring of Honor. I hope they do this more often. They go at 12 noon. I want to see what the pay-per-view buys are for this. I really enjoyed it coming on at like 12 noon. Like for some weird reason, I loved it. I was energized. I was into it.
Because
And
it felt like a football game.
yes, you know what? You hit that right on the head. Right on the head. Make sure to really like and subscribe to Slam Zone Sports and to my channel as well. And Fatal Streams as well. Fatal, also check him out on Twitch. Check him out on Trovo and YouTube. Check him out. Make sure to go out and support the Fatal Streams, support Rafe Realm, and support Slam Zone Sports so we can start going live over there. All the links will be down below in the description of all places. And also, we'll be updating the Spotify and everything for you guys. So you guys have that. And soon to come, other social media places so we can fire this up and whatnot and go fully unleaded and hit the gas pedal and all that, you know. Anyway, Tony Khan killed it today. Literally killed it today. Like, I got to give TK credit. When he's on fire, when he does the things right, get out of his way. Seriously, just get out of his way. When he books something to a T, puts on 5-star matches, get out of his way. I can't say that enough. Triple H, you take an L today, bud. You, Shawn Michaels, all of you take an L for Deadline. Tony Khan, man, what a hell of a match with FTR tonight. Match of the year. I will call it match of the year. Now, match.
And Chris Jericho tapped out to the swing.
Yeah, you know what's funny? The camera angle sucked on that. That was with me and Fatal where we were confused. We were like, what did he tap? I'm going to have to go back and watch it. I'm going to have to go back and find it like
I
on.
think it was that final swing when Castagnoli started kind of, pivoting a little bit more towards the rope. I think he noticed Chris Jericho tapping
Okay.
and he was confused. He
Yeah.
didn't expect it. He was shocked, and then he just kind of stopped. Referee rang the bell right about that same time. Him still in a dizzy daze is like, oh shit, he actually tapped.
What I'm going to say is this. I think Tony Khan just told him to go out there and wrestle and whatever happens is whatever
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, and Rick Abani actually made a valid point after that match. Even though it's just a swing move, at a certain point, you're hitting so much momentum and you're going at a certain speed, it is pulling on every muscle from your ankles to your head
Right.
as he's spinning you like that and spinning you like that, using all of his force to do it,
Right.
in that constant motion. So every muscle in your body by swing number 20 is fucking hurting.
Well, I'm assuming, well, the way you saw Chris Jericho looked like he was ready to puke. Like,
Yeah.
flat out
Yeah.
puke. Yeah.
And the way he rolled out of the ring real gingerly, you could tell he was sore. He was like, "Oh fuck, that fucking hurt." He couldn't hang on until the figure 4. And I think that's why Castagnoli looked stunned and shocked and confused, is because they planned the swing and then going into the sharpshooter like Castagnoli usually does. And Chris Jericho just couldn't hang on for the sharpshooter. He was too sore.
Right. Now, that match, I will be honest with you, that match was pretty sweet. Like, literally, I was blown away.
It was pretty good.
The
Yeah, it was pretty good.
the crowd was into it. Um, I love the announcers throughout the whole, final battle. They were 50-50. 1 minute, they were like, we hate this guy. This guy sucks. And then all of a sudden, flip of a dime, they're like, oh, we love this guy. Oh, my God, we want him to win. And I'm sitting here
But
just cracking up.
man, unanimously, they really hate Chris Jericho.
Yeah. I will say the women's match. Okay, so let's start up with the pre-show. I know Fatal didn't watch that. The Kingdom and Top Flight. Give me more. Please, Tony Khan, give me more. That match on the pre-show blew the house off. And I think Tony Khan just told everybody, gave him a pep talk early and said, hey, go out and just live your best life. Just go out there and live your best life and do the best matches you could possibly do. Blow the roof off. And for Bennett and Tatum, or Taven, sorry, to go out there and on a pre-show, which it doesn't really matter to some people, to blow the roof off and the crowd just eating it up like breakfast, outstanding. Like literally outstanding at the very beginning. You could tell AEW, you could tell Ring of Honor right off the rip were fired up. Somebody fired up somebody and told the roster, hey, go out there and have the best life out there. Somebody pep talked because every match had a thunder to it. You know what I mean? Had a gusto to it. Like it was like watching football. Like everybody, it was like everybody was like a sense of urgency. We got to go and we got to be number one. And I think there was a lot of people saying, hey, we got to stack up to WWE NXT here. That's who's going on next. We need to outshine them, outclass them. You know, they say there's no competition, but there really is. You know, for ratings and views and things like that. They wanted to squish their competition, and they honestly did that tonight. The show looked like,
They
to me,
100% right after that, we're all sitting around watching NXT and just like, damn, we
I
knocked
think
it out of the park. Like,
they had three matches. They had three match of the year candidates. One for the women's division. Athena and Mercedes killed it. Literally. You could tell like they had a gusto. Like you could tell they were motivated and they were both doing finishing moves against each other. And you
yep.
can tell there was a whole like you started from the very beginning. There was like a whole nother level they went on. And you could see it. And you can even see Samoa Joe saying it in the media scrim that they went to a whole different level the minute they said go. And you could tell, and this is the thing I don't like about the dirt sheets on the internet. I don't know if Fatal feels this way when they talk AEW and Ring of Honor have bad locker rooms. I don't think so. When they're putting on these kind of things, they got to be on one type of
They
page.
got to have some kind of chemistry, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't believe in everything they say AEW's fighting and feuding. I don't believe that.
I mean, there is a such thing as real heat, you know, but I don't think it's to the extent that everybody thinks it is.
I will say this. I will say the match of the night does go to that tag team match, that dog collar match, man. It could have gone either way for me. That match collar night could have gone any which way. Honestly, the blood, the bleeding, everything with the way I thought it was going to go. Now, it's nice to see the Briscoes being champion. They set up a feud with the Ass Boys and after the fact, but to see Dax Hardwood be like glazed over, I was concerned a few times with Dax Hardwood. I thought he had a concussion a few times. I was like, he dead or he has a concussion. And you can see the wear and tear on FTR. You could see they're suffering. Like they need a break for a minute.
They're putting on a double fucking overtime schedule right now.
Yes, they are.
Like they were carrying 3 championships. It was time for them to stop carrying a whole promotion.
Right.
You know, it
Right.
was time for the Briscoes to take back the reins. You know, they got to relax for a little bit. They got the stress to be subsided a little bit. Now it's time for them to carry the reins
Right.
into this next generation of ROH.
Now it gives a chance for FTR, and I know what they're doing with the Ass Boys. They're gonna give FTR, they're gonna give the Acclaim some more time with the titles. So this gives FTR time to feud, and then we can get into Revolution to start the year with FTR being your AEW champion. The payoff.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Interesting.
No, I'm still hanging on to that. I'm telling you, I think once their contracts run up in AEW, come first part of next year, I think it's March. March or May is when their contracts run up.
April.
And they're done. After that, they're done for major promotions for at least 1 year.
Well, I don't know what Tony Khan's thinking, but I think what Tony Khan's mindset is we're going to put the belts on them, at Revolution. But here's the problem with that. If they are walking out the door, as you say it is, right?
They could hold the belts until the last pay-per-view before their contracts are up.
They could.
And then just drop them all and just be like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
But That's been all the rumors, and it's been big reports
And
and multiple
they were on
sources.
podcast saying that.
Yeah, yeah. Like they want to have fun again, and a full-time schedule just isn't it. They want to travel around and just do, little part-time here and there's the fun stuff.
I will say that's okay. So Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee. I gotta say that match was really good. Swerve did walk out on Keith Lee though, but Keith Lee turned around and oh my goodness, he turned it into another level. And literally no joke. I have to say, Keith Lee is one of a kind talent, and he turned it around. He had the odds against him, and he did that Keith Lee finishing move he usually does, and it was hella good. You know what I mean? Like Swerve's great talent. I think this furthers the storyline with Swerve and Keith Lee, with Swerve turning his back on Keith Lee. I think that's going to be good. I really think, they did a good job with that personally. Let me get into the match card here. Let's see. We're going to talk about that. Who did he go against? I know his name. Shane Taylor. Thank you, Shane Taylor. Shane Taylor and Keith Lee in a ring. I thought the ring was going to fall apart. And Shane Taylor's good shit. Like, he was good in Ring of Honor. I could see him on AEW television. That's a match that Fatal should go back. When you get an opportunity, you should go back and watch that match. I know you missed out on that. But when you get an opportunity to watch the replay, go back and watch that match, because that match was hella good. It had good storytelling. And this is the one thing I do like about Keith Lee and Swerve. They could tell a good story. And I hope this goes into, for a minute, the feud between them two, because it's going to be good. It's going to be a good match. No matter what they do with it, it's going to be a good match. I really enjoy Swerve Strickland. I think he could be your top heel in AEW, and I think Keith Lee could be your good baby face. It sells it for that, But if you didn't watch that match, Swerve Strickland did walk out on Keith Lee. Keith Lee had to fight the two that they were battling against. I didn't understand. I didn't really understand Shane Taylor and JD Griffey. I didn't understand. I know who Shane Taylor is, but Griffey was like a jobber, glorified to me. But did some good moves though. And I get they were both big part of ROH. I didn't really watch ROH towards the end. And I know Shane Taylor did some really good things towards the end of Ring of Honor before St. Clair fell apart. So, and this was the whole storyline of Keith Lee when he was part of Ring of Honor, left Shane Taylor on his own because he went to NXT. He got picked up by WWE. So it was a whole game of the two not liking each other. So I understood that, and their family. There was sometimes in that match that Keith looked at JD and didn't want to do finishing moves because they were family. Kind of looking, and then Swerve turned around and said, "Hey, dude, continue the match. What the hell are you doing? What are you doing? Finish him." So I get what they're trying to do. They're gonna have this feud between the two. And it's going to be good television, wherever, if they do it on pay-per-view or television, it's going to be good. I did miss the beginning of, because, so they started, I didn't realize, right? I didn't realize that they started the pre-show at 12 o'clock. Like, they started, I got into their 30 minutes as it was going. I was playing video games, and I was starting to stream. I didn't even realize they started it. So I got the Willow Nightingale match versus Trish. That was a good match. Willow Nightingale is good talent. She is going to be your bar for the future. Do I see her as AEW Women's Championship? No. TBS, sure. But they got to get that title off of Jade. It's starting to show when your women's talent is growing. And Jade, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to make a video. I'm going to have to, in a video, and I'm not kidding you guys, and I know I'm going to hear you guys, some of you that say Jade's great. I'm going to have to get a Slam Zone thing, 2 pictures back. I think we have one back to back, and have Goldberg from 1990 something and Jade. and you guys can watch both, and you can come tell me Jade's a spitting image of Goldberg. If you watch a Goldberg match from back then and you watch Jade, exactly the same. Sorry I'm bringing up Jade in a Ring of Honor thing, but it kind of just brought up what I saw in matches, what the future of AEW / Ring of Honor is going to be. And Jade needs to go back to the drawing board because a lot of these women on the roster are doing much, much better. So that match was good. Top Flight versus the Kingdom. Again, I have to tell you guys, one hell of a match. That was the second match of the night for me, honestly. And Athena would be 3. Jeff Cobb defeating, I can't even pronounce his name. Dura? I'm butchering this. But Jeff Cobb, I don't know why he's not signed to ROH or AEW. But he is New Japan talent. And one hell of a match too. I did get to see that match. Now, Samoa Joe did defeat Juice Robinson in a pinfall. That match was really good. Typical Samoa Joe match, though. Muscle buster. Really good match. Samoa Joe's the shit. Flat out. And I'll give Fatal his due. He was right. I was wrong when I said Juice was going to win because I thought they may want to pull the title off of Joe and have him as the king of television for, AEW instead. But boy, I was wrong. Gotta give Fatal his due on that one. He was right about that.
And I just don't even see why either. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't even make sense to me. Because if you're trying to, like you said in the media scrum, trying to pull, ROH stuff off of AEW, then what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with Joe then? Are you trying to, is his next challenger for the TNT title just going to beat him? Or are you just going to have that little bit of ROH still a part of AEW to keep it relevant?
I'll tell you this one. So the reason they're keeping the titles on Samoa Joe's going to be in the Medal of Honor game that's coming out, our Twisted Metal game as the voice. He's also going to be on Peacock. He's also going to be, so it makes sense on why they have him have both belts. So I get it.
I get it. I get that part.
For
Okay,
featurement reasons.
And then here's another question. Athena. You just had Athena win the Ring of Honor Women's Championship.
Yeah.
Demotion question mark? After you just acquired her from WWE?
Not it's tough for me.
They're not even going to be on fucking real television.
Not for a while, no. Not until
they're going to be on a website.
Okay.
Literally Honor Club.
So, all right. So he said Honor Club, but here's the thing. He also stated too, when they asked him about TV, he said our streaming stuff, like the library is going to be like prior stuff for Ring of Honor is going to be on the Honor Club. $9.99 he presented. But when he talked about TV, and this is what I was confused about. I don't know if you picked up on this. He said, in a future date, I'll tell you where it's going to be. I'm excited about it, but here's Ring of Honor. So I'm confused. So is your weekly television going to be on Honor Club, or is it going to be on TV somewhere? Because he didn't definitively tell you. He said, well, we got to get through what he said in the media scrum. He said, well, we got to get through Wrestle Kingdom, and I got some exciting stuff coming out of that that's coming to AEW. Then we got our LA show. Then we got our San Jose show. Then after that, we'll sit down and we'll have this conversation about where Ring of Honor is going, the future of it. So you sold us on the idea of you had this big announcement in the media scrum through when you were talking to your investors in an investors call recently this week to prep us for Final Battle, right? But when you go to talk, you do so much talking, it's so confusing. This is the one thing about Tony Khan I don't like. You talk too much. And when you do talk too much, you say, okay, now go subscribe for $9.99, but you didn't clarify pay-per-views. You didn't clarify this is a separate thing that's going to have AEW on it going forward. What are we doing with AEW and a streaming deal? Is this going to be on the Honor Club too? And are you going to change? To me, it feels here, Fatal, I don't know if you picked up on this. Maybe I did. I feel they're going to change the name of the Honor Club. Do you have that feeling too, where I feel this big announcement's going to be like an AEW universe or something, where they
I
change it
mean,
and it has
there
Ring
it's
of
gonna
Honor
have to be
both?
something better than just Honor Club and a bunch of old Ring of Honor content for $10 a month.
I feel Tony Khan doesn't want to sign. I don't feel Tony Khan. He talked about how he loves Warner Media, right? I feel honestly, and maybe I'm wrong, he does not feel putting it on HBO Max. I think he wants to have his own app. And I really believe the Honor Club thing, it's already established. It's there. I really believe they're just going to change the name of it. Personally, when he said develop it, we redeveloped the app and everything for everything. I'm assuming, maybe I'm far out, when that announcement happens, they're just going to come out with their own app. And they're just going to stamp $9.99 on it. And they're going to call it AEW whatever. And it's going to have Ring of Honor on top of it. And that's where all this AEW, they're going to pull it off of YouTube and everything. And this is going to be on this app for $9.99. Is it winning to me? Kind of. If there's pay-per-views, though. You know what I mean? Kind of, if there's pay-per-views. Now, they did state that they're in partnership. They're in partnership with, did I stand corrected? They're in partnership with New Japan, right? In this
Yeah.
app, right? Okay.
New Japan's supposed to be putting content on there too, which that
Gotcha.
doesn't make me want to watch it anymore.
It needs to have a lot more going on for it. Now,
Yeah.
Tony Khan did oversell this app, though. Did you hear him oversell it? Oh, there's already people. There's hundreds of people subscribing already. The numbers are off the chart. And I'm like, bro, you just said literally it's only been out an hour. How did it like outsell real quick? That makes no sense. So anyway, I will say this to you guys. The show was fantastic. Everything had a beginning, middle, and end. Good storytelling. I feel that Tony Khan, ever since his mom had the 3 strokes she did, and he lost his focus, I think Tony Khan's back at the helm. I think he's driven. I think he's focused. I think he's realizing what people, excuse me, that are I just burped. It's my bad. I think that he's realizing that he needs to turn a page here and do what's right for the show. You know what I mean? Make shows better. And I think tonight is the starting of it. Now, we got to see next week when Winter's coming. We got to see what that's going to entail and how the storytelling is. I'm with Fatal on this. You're pulling Ring of Honor off your show, but you kind of need Ring of Honor on your show. I sound very weird about this. If you're going to be booking stuff going forward, you got to have Ring of Honor stuff on your show, kind of.
Right, and they just put 2 titles around 2 AEW main TV people.
Yeah, you were kind of pointing
So,
that out. You were
so
confused with
what?
that.
You're pulling Wheeler and Claudio off of AEW television, but in the media scrum you said Blackpool Combat Club is staying together, and
Going forward in the
so
future, right?
so
There
uh
was some confusion. I was kind of confused.
I'm very confused. I'm very confused.
Now, are they going to do this under Dark, though? Here's my question. Then is Dark going to be utilized for Ring of Honor temporarily until we get a full TV deal? Because he wasn't very clear, but said, here's Ring of Honor Club. I'm not buying Honor Club until you definitively tell me what I'm getting for
Yeah.
the price.
Yeah.
And it
Exactly.
better come with pay-per-views. Because Fatal pointed out to me, he didn't talk about pay-per-views. And if I'm having to pay $59.99 for a pay-per-view, you can kiss my
And
backside.
then $10 a month just for televised content?
That if it is going that way, that's not it, Chief. I'm
That's not it. That
no,
is not
that is
it.
highway robbery to the fans, honestly. And Tony Khan does need to get on a streaming service. I really think Honor Club was just for right now to get you interested in the idea of streaming. He's putting his feelers out to see how many people subscribe and see how much money he can make out of
But
this.
a lot of people are going to feel like we do.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that. They'll just go back to what they normally watch it on.
Right.
because it'll still be there. You know, it's not going to go anywhere.
Well, here's my thing too. Another thing is that whatever TV they find, and I hope it's TV, or I hope it's the HBO Max, because the big rumor has been that HBO is changing its name to the Max app and live sports is being put on it. And they did show a picture of the new app, the way it looks. It looks just like the Discovery app in a way. And they show AEW Dynamite on it. So that tells me that they struck a deal somewhere for streaming, because he's very satisfied with their partnership with Discovery Warner. So, and it looks like they're going to be renewing when 2023 comes up. So that tells me that for WWE, but I think Tony Khan doesn't want to give up his library like that. You know what I mean? I just don't see him. He talked about it a little bit.
Not yet, because he could do it for like collector's editions and stuff like that. You know, WWE used to do that shit. They used to sell their DVDs and shit.
So, it's good to see. It's good to see. The Embassy did win the Ring of Honor Trios champion, Mister Brian Cage. Mister Brian Cage looking I got to give it them credit though. They did look
With his 1,000 taunts.
He had his 1,000 tons. The Embassy did win, and I did like the ring gear from them. That did look good. Everybody had good ring gear tonight. Literally, like Athena came out with like video game-esque gear, which was kind of cool, and also Mercedes came out with some type of good like street gear, like looking like
Athena looked
LX.
like a Final Fantasy character.
You know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I will tell you guys this show was really good. If you have a chance to go out, if you haven't seen it, it is so good. Find it out somewhere online somewhere. It's so good. The dog collar match, man, honestly, one hell of a match. And it was shocking to me they didn't have the Briscoes come up and do a media scrum thing where they're talking. You know what I mean? I just don't understand. We're still penalizing them for what happened 10 years, 12 years ago.
They don't want to take the risk. Tony Khan doesn't want to take the risk.
But to sit there and praise them all night, all the wrestlers praising them.
You know, yeah.
I
But
didn't
at the
understand
same
that.
time, doesn't want to take the risk of maybe they just off the wall say something because, you know.
Got you. That makes sense. One other match, Blake Christian and AR Fox defeats I can't even say it. Roosh and his brother. Roosh and his brother via pinfall.
Got rooshed.
AR Fox, no joke. If you guys have been living under a rock, he was on NXT television. He's really good, like flat out. Top Flight is coming up, and I can see Top Flight being champion somewhere. They are really good, and for being as old as they are, Taven and Mike Bennett were hella good talents. So AEW is making good moves. Now, there was a question asked in the media scrum, where it happened to Colt Cabana, and they officially said he was, I think, had an injury of some sort, a devastating injury.
Yeah, that's what they said.
So that's why he wasn't at Final Battle and why he wasn't in a championship type feud. They said he is going to be a main roster kind of guy for them. So we'll see on Ring of Honor. Now, they did ask him, what did they ask him? They asked him something really stupid after the TV deal. I think they asked him about certain Miro. They did ask about Miro. I think Joe answered that question. He said, I would love to fight Miro. Bring him to me. I would love to have a feud with him in a storyline. And then you see TK looking like, Joe, you shouldn't be talking like that. Like every move Tony Khan, like when there was questions asked, Tony Khan had big eyes, like afraid to answer. But yeah, this is the review. What are we giving Ring of Honor tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a B.
You can give him a B. I'm with you with that. A B, I would say a solid 8. It was a good show. Not bad. Guys, we review, so tomorrow is Sunday. There's no wrestling, thank God for that. Monday, I'll be watching Raw. I'll be giving it a review. I gave a review of Monday Night Raw last week and the week prior. We do review Dynamite. I am going to watch NXT because I do want to see the wild cards. I want to see what wild cards are happening. I'm really hoping Eric Young shows up. I'll be disappointed if he doesn't on Tuesday. Thursday, typical Impact review. I'll give you guys one of those. Friday, Rampage, and SmackDown, definitely for sure. I've been doing these reviews because I just sit down and watch wrestling. Sometimes I'm bored, and I know Rampage is not everybody's thing, you know. I know Rampage is not everybody's thing, you know. But I did enjoy last week's Rampage, actually, more Fridays. So anyway, I'm going to get you out of here because I know some of us have to get ready for work tomorrow, and I want to go to sleep because a lot of too much wrestling today. My brain's overloaded. But
Brain fried.
Ray fried. Yeah. Guys, make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to Slam Zone Sports, to my channel, to Fatal Streams channel. If you're not checking us out, more social media is coming from us for Slam Zone. These videos and stuff will be up as podcasting audio. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great one.